looking at the charts, we had a little bit of volatility today, still within the same range, but very volatile, very spiky. Let's see what we've got. Let's see what we've got for Ethereum and Bitcoin. I'm gonna start with Ethereum on the daily. And Ethereum finally, what it did today was lift up to the 20 on the daily, which I saw coming this morning, but I did not see a break down first so much and then a spike up, which is a very volatile day. It's collecting orders on both ways and liquidity on both ways. So that's why it's very handy, very cautious, very mindful to be trading with a stop loss whichever direction you're going right now, because there were signals this morning both for a lift and for a drop. The higher time frames, like the day and the week, are turned up on the stochastic. Ethereum is also holding this trend line, so it's holding outside of this divergence line, which would indicate continuation to the upside on the daily. But the 4-hour was turned down, which would indicate a push down, and that's exactly what happened today. Initially it pushed down, so the 4-hour lost support. It closed below that support and then spiked up in the next 4-hour, doing a higher high, and that is a very nice liquidity run as far as I'm concerned. This is what I believe that is. It looks like it's completed at the moment, but we have to see. The first hour of Sydney is generally equally volatile as the first hour of New York, and until Sydney chooses a direction, we'll probably see a little bit of sideways within the top range happening. Now, looking at the levels moving into the weekend, I believe moving into the Friday and the weekend. Now, Friday is generally the run for money of the market makers, and they will be going for the money both ways. Today they did a bit of that. I expect tomorrow to do equally the same, and it would fit our arc. Now that we have a higher high here, this would be our mountain peak. And yes, I know it looks a little bit crazy, but look at how beautiful the double top structure was. The mountain peak structure looked a lot like the double top, but here we are with a higher high. Now, to have a look at all the potential of this arc to the upside, I know this is hitting the line to a T. I'll put it there as it was, but this lift could actually continue. So right now Ethereum has broken up above the 200 MA on the 1 hour, but this move could continue up to the previous peak that started this drop here at 1276, 1278. So we could see a lift to that level as mountain peak. I'm taking this as resistance peak rather than a higher level, because this is the level where the drop actually started happening. So I'm taking this as a level 1, this as a level 2, and the bit here as level 3, because that's where consolidation happened most, here and then here. So I'm looking at this on the 1 hour, and I see its potential to continue its journey upwards. I don't believe it has the strength to do it, not where the market is at the moment, but it could. I'm trying to see now if we have any reversal vectors. We don't have any reversal vectors on the 1 hour, on the 15-minute, but you can see how this whole lift, let me see how spiky it was. Literally a 3-level lift from M1 to M2, M2 into M3, M3 to M4. This was just crazy. 4%, 3.5% in 15 minutes. Insane. we don't have a reversal vector on the 15-minute yet, but we do have a pivot here on the divergence indicator, and the 15-minute RSIs and stocks RSIs are maxed out. Now, going back to my initial idea and my initial levels. For Friday, first let's have a discussion for Friday, and then for the weekend. For Friday, what we might see would be a continuation of this zigzag. If this is a zigzag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, we could see a continuation of the zigzag, and zigzag waves are typical of consolidation to continue the trend. So we could see a lift up to 1230, 1250, and 1270. These would be the immediate levels. Today what happened was, it was technically correct, but unless you're watching this on the 5-minute and making trading decisions on the 5-minute, which is generally scalping on the 5-minute, it would have been very hard to trade, if not, how can I say, if not untradeable, because it wouldn't be visible in terms of signals on the 15. So what you would have here initially, we had the daily open and we had the pivot point, and they broke, and then the M2 broke, and we were talking about the M0, M1, and the M0 being the next levels, and they were both reached if the M2 broke. And then we had a double bottom pattern here, and again this was visible on the 15-minute indicators, but you wouldn't have had a 702 entry because you would have been spiked out. This was the double bottom. It gave us a bottoming out structure here, but not another bottom, and it just continued to go up, and it went up very fast, again up through those levels. It was a sort of like this Bart Simpson here in a concentrated version. I wanted to produce the word concentrated. So unless we were closely watching on the 5-minute and trading it, we wouldn't have caught the swing up. The swing down, absolutely, look at it. It went down to the low ADR, 1180, right smack on our levels. Let me show you the levels here. There we are, 1179, 1180, right between. Once the support broke, this line that I put in this line this morning on Bitcoin as well. They both, Bitcoin and Ethereum, made a triangle formation on the 1 hour this morning. So this line broke. Once it broke, boom, down to the next level of support, hit on it, 1, 2, double bottom, swing up to the next level of support. So we had the space mapped, but again, as traders, if you're not watching this closely on the 15-minute, it would be very, very hard. Not hard. You would have to be quite reactionary to trade this both down and up. Now, what was going on with the volatility was in the crypto space was also happening in the S&P, because this is what happened today. It did a drop. It did finally the 0.5 correction that I have been waiting for all this time. I said we need to do a 0.5 correction, and then we lifted up, closed above this daily trend line and did a 0.5, and then recovered half of that candle. So this is huge for the S&P to recover in a day, 1.5% in a day. Dropped, did the correction, and then recovered it. So what we could expect tomorrow, I don't expect too much tomorrow. I'm just going to remove this. I expect a lot of action being played in this space. The top space between the 55 and the 20 EMA on the 1 hour, and the top line here at 12:30. So I expect this space to be the one that will be moving in. Volume is increasing, so if we do bounce up and we hold the 12:30 for support, then we might see the next level at 12:50 be hit. I don't believe that will happen. I believe this is going to be our space tomorrow, and depending on where tomorrow goes in terms of its peak and its the highest point and the lowest point, that's going to be the range for the weekend. So we're going to keep, I don't believe we have reason to believe we're going to explode upwards from here. In terms of the 4-hour formations, we could argue that this is a W formation and we've just done a 1, 2, and I know this is lower, but if we're not counting the wicks, they're on the same level, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then coming up for a 5. And again, if we're thinking of the of a zigzag formation, again, that might be an anomaly, but again, I've seen a lot of breaks in the levels lately. So for tomorrow, what I expect to see is the levels between 1200 and 1230 being held. This will be our space. I'm just going to mark them quickly because I don't want to keep you for too long. I will be posting this tomorrow morning, and then I will be constantly updating you if there are any changes during the day, because I'll be in front of the computer. So the space for tomorrow, where's my rectangle? There it is. Here it is. And I will expand it a little bit higher, and I will move the price. No, okay. Weekend range. I'm so sorry. Friday and weekend range. And again, I want to be very I want to give you very specific supports here, very dynamic specific supports, and those ones will be in the form of the 20 EMA and the 50 EMA on the 4 hours. So the 50 EMA will break first, and then the 20 EMA will break next if we're coming down. So this would be the space between 12 it came I had a 1245 target for the accumulation, came up to 1238, very close. Okay, so that would be the Friday and the weekend range. I don't expect the Friday to be very eventful, but it could move up and down within that range. The way it's moved today, we have a 3% range, almost a 3% range. There's always a little bit higher and a little bit lower at the weekend. remember on Saturday evening, Saturday night, there's the psychological levels that get reset, and it's best to have your positions closed before that, so as not to have your stop losses hit as they do so. So that would be Ethereum. Just to sum it up, we have indicators on the 1 day that would show a recovery, and that would be, I have for Ethereum 3 things: the stochastic on the weekly, the stochastic on the daily, and this big bear bullish candle on the daily here that would confirm a W formation for the up. This wouldn't be a 1-2 because this is lower. So I think this would be a zigzag, but even as a zigzag formation, it would need a wave 3 to continue. But this is just the first tap of the 20 EMA after breaking it. Okay, so that is Ethereum. Bitcoin is doing the same thing, but Bitcoin didn't have the same bullish candle on the daily today. No, sorry, I take that back. It did. XRP was the one that didn't have. Sorry, I take that back. So yeah, 2 days ago we had this bullish candle. We had the turning up of the stochastic, and if I'm putting on the MACD is leveling out. It is preparing to cross. Now, generally with the MACD, when we have 2 waves like this, they indicate a lift. So it shows decreasing differences between the buyers and the sellers, and it generally shows a lift. The way on the upside, it shows a drop. So when we have 2 waves with decreasing differences between the buyers and the sellers, it shows a change in direction. So I am expecting a short-term lift. I don't know if it's going to happen this weekend. I don't know if it's going to happen next week. We might see this lift slowly move up towards, again, the 20 on the daily at 17K. That might be the case. We don't have too much oomph in the market right now. The macro is absolutely dreadful, and I couldn't be bullish right now even if I tried. I told you what the oscillators, what the markup oscillators are showing me. And I am taking how can I say, them with a pinch of salt, but also very seriously in terms of my trades. Every time I'm doing a short or a long now, I am putting a stop loss in. No more getting trapped, because the moves can be very, very violent to one direction or another, like Ethereum's today's. So I'd rather be spiked out for less than 10% than be trapped for 50. Now, for Bitcoin, I am gonna do something unheard of. I am joking now. I'm just gonna remove this line here so that I can place a clearer rectangle on the 1 hour. Again, you've seen these levels for weeks and weeks, and here this is where we are. This is the bear market. It is good to trade because it's ranging up and down, and even though sometimes, like this week, might be quite boring waiting for trades, it does offer options. Okay, so now I will be taking the 4 hour. I will be taking the 4 hour EMAs as my reference. Okay. So I imagine that we're gonna hold somewhere around this level, and it's not just my imagination. It's the fact that this is the previous here it's resistance and here it's support, and we're gonna go a little bit higher towards this peak here. Again, this would be our double top formation in the arc. If I'm looking at the Bitcoin arc, Where are my arcs? Why don't I have? I think they are on. That's it. That's XRP, guys. Okay. My tired mind. I know I removed my drawings, but I. So if we look at the 15-minute arc, that would need a double top structure somewhere around the 17K area. Now this might have also been the double, depending on where we go right now. This might also have been the double top structure, and now we're going up for mountain peak. This tomorrow morning, depending on where Asia decides to take it tonight, I'll be posting the updated levels if I need to update anything. Asia has been very active lately. I remember a year ago, Asia was really stagnant and just holding levels, but now the role seem to have swapped, and London is holding levels more than Asia. So these would be the levels between 16.7 and 17.8. This would be the weekend level. Now I wanna color code, so I'll be taking the same copy and putting it here. Paste. No, I can't. Why? Okay, Friday. Levels. Okay. So again, I will keep you up to date tomorrow if we happen to expand this range. There's always a slight expansion to a slight move outside of the levels, the previous peaks, and also sometimes a bigger drop. Now we are in a bearish trend. Remember to follow. I would follow the peaks, maxing out to the top side to short on the way down, because the shorts are the ones that are favored at the moment given the momentum of the market. Whatever direction you choose to do, put a tight stop loss, and again a 702 entry would give you a nice point of entry and a tight stop loss as well. So again, we have Bitcoin and Ethereum going very similarly. Again, Ethereum has a little bit more of a range than Bitcoin. Let me just measure this. Ethereum's was 2.9, 2.6, sorry, 2.9, and Bitcoin's is 1.5. So again, Bitcoin's ranges are almost untradeable in terms of how much they're offering. And I would be watching. The only objective for me watching this Friday and the weekend action is to gain a position around the 17.1, 17.2 level. So that's what I'd be watching for this weekend, because I'm pretty sure there will be a another drop to the downside, and when that drop comes, a 17.1, 17.2 entry would be absolutely profitable for anyone. So that's what I'll be watching for Bitcoin. Other than that, just a minor thing, we had that dropping out of this triangle. This was a stop loss hunt at the start of today's New York session, but it did meet the levels. I'll show you in a second. Same for Ethereum. Again, it was a great demonstration of traders' reality levels being met 280. The M2 broke, went down to M1. M1 broke, went down to M0. So these are all from M2, M1, M0 support levels. It's great to follow them on the day and set your targets accordingly. Now, this was a strong V-shaped recovery. I had a 702 entry here for a long in Bitcoin, and on the 15-minute, but unfortunately it spiked me out. So this one here was my 702 entry here, but this one went a little bit lower than the previous peak, and it spiked me out, and it didn't offer a tight 1-2 a swing, as in a 1-2 swing. It just offered this a higher low and then went up. So I missed the opportunity here, even though I had mapped out this one as a double bottom. But it is what it is. Some days you have to let them go. That's it. That's it from me. I will be editing the video I did last week about Ethereum finding entries with the golden pocket levels, retracement levels, and I did a very useful video on showing you how to trade up and down in a sideways swing using the golden pocket or the 0.5 entries, and how sweet that is in terms of profits. Ethereum is a great altcoin to trade in terms of the ranges it offers. So that's it. That was short and sweet because I've been showing you these levels these whole weeks, and again we're keeping between the same bigger time frame levels, but we're moving in a smaller space, and when that smaller space breaks out, we have a more of a violent lift. Let me know if you guys have any.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, Michael. Have a beautiful Christmas, Michael, and I'll keep you up to date if something happens.